All right, so it's really important that you don't neglect the outside of your home too. Lots of people, I mean, we're talking 95% of people, they do start their home search online, but you know, the second thing they do is they almost always drive by it. So if you want to reel them into your home, you need to make sure that the exterior is just as nice and just as staged as the inside of your home.
So some of the things that are really important is having fresh mulch, getting the weeds pulled, making it look like you've kept it up. People don't want a home where they're going to have to worry about water issues or anything like that. So if they see a low area, that's going to cause a concern for them. So it is beauty and it is function, because they're looking for a home that is going to be easy to live in and not be a money pit.
So a great list of things to do before you list your home for sale is make sure you have downspout extenders. Make sure that all of the dirt is at a negative slope away from the house. So if you have low areas around your foundation, make sure you're adding dirt. You can just buy bags of dirt at Home Depot or your local home goods store or home improvement store, I suppose. We're gonna clean out gutters and make sure that they are nice and clear so water can flow through them. If you have small trees growing out of your gutters, it's also not good. So go ahead and get those cleaned out. Adding fresh flowers, like Annette said, is really a great idea. It does add a little bit of color, but it also just makes things look a little bit more layered, okay? We're talking about layers inside, and we're gonna bring that to the outside as well.
And color. Now, if you are like me and you kill everything, like literally I buy it at the store and within 2 weeks it's dead, you can either buy really hardy plants or you can use some artificial. That is not against the rules. Not planting down here, but just in your planters. So if that is a struggle and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna struggle too hard, that is kind of a go around.
So I've actually done that before. I went to Hobby Lobby last year. I had a vision for beside my door. And I needed something with height, and I didn't have time nor the money to go buy some sort of special tree to plant in a planter. I went to Hobby Lobby. I bought a $25 fake lemon tree and planted it in a regular pot with real dirt, and nobody knew it was fake.
I thought it was real.
Nobody knew it was fake.
It was pretty good, and I think our kids even tried to pick a lemon. So.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of lemon trees in Kansas. Nobody realized that though. So that was actually a great idea. The one thing I will say about that is don't plan on them lasting longer than probably a season, because UV rays from the sun and stuff, they will change the colors on your leaves and everything. But
I do like when we're bringing color outside to make sure it's going to coordinate with what they're going to see inside.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating to a buyer that drives by and gets this vibe outside and then walks in and has a completely different vibe. So I like to make sure that I'm kind of marrying the two so that you walk in and it feels consistent, it feels like what I expected.
Yeah, and the more that people are at home, the more outdoor areas to entertain, relax, or even work become more and more important, because we're not wanting just one living room in our house anymore. You know, we're wanting different areas to live, work, and just enjoy at home.
And I think nature is so important. This home has a beautiful, huge tree, so taking that into account, they've planted flowers around it, they have rocks around it. So I think making sure that you take into account all of those things is important. You're also going to want to make sure you keep your lawn mowed during that time. So sometimes when you're dealing with kids' soccer games or family activities or vacations, the lawn can get out of hand. So if you don't have time to mow your lawn, and that's what usually does it, make sure you're setting up a service to come mow if you're going to be gone. Because again, remember, the first place people will see you is online, and the second place is driving by the home to see if they want to take the time to look at it.
You need help. If this is something that is maybe beyond what you feel like you can do, ask your realtor. They have plenty of recommendations to help you with lawn care, even people that will come clean up your yard and plant beautiful plants. Another thing that I want to talk about is dead plants, or plants that are pretty ugly. This homeowner used to have holly bushes, and they actually recently ripped them out to plant these more modern looking plants, and that was a really good choice because one, it was just sporadic, and two, they were kind of dying. So any kind of dying plants, dying trees, you really want to get rid of them. If you have limbs that are hanging in front of your house, have a tree trimmer come and lift those limbs up, cut them out. If you can even pull them down and cut them yourself, that's the best thing, because you want people to be able to see your house, especially for photographs when you're listing your home.
And even the big tree up front here, there's some dead limbs. If you're gonna have the tree trimmer here already, have them just clean that tree up too. Any dead limbs you can get off that are hanging over the house will just be less worries for the new homeowner.
Another thing, we had talked about color. Just to reiterate, we do see the exact same trim color that is on the fireplace inside and also the front door. So we are being consistent with the color that you're seeing throughout the house.
I love it in threes. So that's always exciting if you can use a color and use it 3 times. Again, it gives people consistency. What we love as humans is the comfort and consistency. So that can create that home feel.